In 2018, I joined, by the end, it was October 2018 when I joined BankIslami, and a couple of my colleagues also joined in. But most of the management team who is still part of BankIslami are the same people who have been working with this bank for last many years. So if we look at a couple of matrices, which is profit after tax, at that point in time it was 212 billion, which for the last year, which just closed in December 2022, was 4.4 billion rupees. So overall, if you say if we just compare the two number, there is 1,988% growth in profit. If we look at the CAGR, it's 1,114%. So Alhamdulillah. If we look at the deposits number, deposits grew from 185 billion to 416 billion, a growth of 125% with a CAGR of 23%. Same goes for the trade business. Trade business was hardly 70 billion rupees then, which moved to over 300 billion rupees, a growth of 348% with a CAGR of 45%. And then couple of other matrices which are very close to our heart as BankIslami, and all to my heart, which is auto finance and housing finance, which is and specifically housing, which is about giving a shelter to a family. So the yearly disbursement in 2018 was 423 million. In 2022, it was 8.7 billion rupees, 1,973% growth, CAGR of 113%. Same goes for autos, 369 million to 9.9 billion rupees, 2,597% growth with a CAGR of 128%. And then a very important metrics for banks, because you might have been seeing banks going down at this point in time internationally, and this has happened in Pakistan. There are two most important things which are necessary for bank to remain afloat. One is the capital adequacy ratio, other one is the liquidity ratio. So in terms of capital adequacy ratio, in 2018 it was 3.8%. The legal requirement was then 12.5% minimum. And we were running on some extensions and exemptions at that point in time. It moved from 3.8% to almost 18% in 4 years, 363% increase at a CAGR of 47%. So these are few of the matrices which shows you about the journey of success in number terms, because it's always easy to measure the success in terms of numbers. So that's the reason we showed it. It's not about showing that how good we are or what we have done. Actually, now I like to show you how this has happened. It is not by chance. It is by choice, definitely, with a lot of blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So definitely first and the foremost one, and the most pervasive one, is blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So one should not undermine the blessings of Allah and the power of dua. So every day we start our day with a dua, that Allah give us success, Allah enable us to achieve our objectives, and the objectives are to grow Islamic banking. And we all carry a mission. Every single employee of BankIslami carry a mission on his chest, which is, I am saving humanity from riba. It's a personal mission of every single employee. It's not an organizational mission, because we believe that every employee should live with a mission wherever he goes, whether he works for BankIslami, he works for any bank in Pakistan or anywhere in the world, he should live with a mission, which is, I am saving humanity from riba. So definitely the next most important thing which made all these numbers to happen and the success to be there is people part. So Alhamdulillah, interestingly, it is the same team which was there with this bank before 2018 who made it possible. Most of the team members, almost 60-70% of the team members are same who was there pre-2018 and who are with us and making these things. So drivers for success was, so we used a couple of ideas coming out of a couple of books. So first one was from the Jack Welch book, which was keep the organization as flat as possible. He said, keep the organization ruthlessly flat, because these boxes are only a false way of telling people that you are growing. So you create one box over another box over another box, and then you promote people through these boxes, and you actually make the organization slower and give people a false sense of growth. So we decided to keep the organization as flat as possible. We eliminated layers of management role in the organization, but at the same time, we did not ask any single employee to leave the bank, irrespective of the fact whatever role he was doing earlier or she was doing earlier, we decided to retrain him or her and give him or her a new role. And then Jack Welch also said, like, there is a concept of that there is one manager and one officer reporting into him or her. We really discouraged that idea. We said, if you are a senior manager, you should be managing 8 to 10 direct reports instead of 2 or 3. Because if your organization is flat, it means you have to manage more people. So the organization is more efficient. So we went for that, and specifically in terms of our geographical coverage, we said all our area managers who used to manage only 2 managers earlier, actually in 2018, now they will manage 8 to 14 managers. So they will manage 8 to 14 branches. So we kept the organization flat, we eliminated one layer, and as a result of that, they will have to manage more branches, and the branches become more efficient as a result of that. And then we picked up one book. We went through many, many books to redesign the organization. And there is one very interesting book, and I would strongly recommend for someone who wants to really redesign the organization. It's like a manual, which is Organizational Design Step-by-Step Approach by Richard Bruton. This is a very interesting book. It's like a framework. We use it as an stencil to redesign our organization. And then we started a project called Project Do. It is Designing a Winning Organization. So there are a couple of people, it was not just HR, the entire field management was involved into it. And we said that we have to redesign the organization within 3 weeks. We will not spend months and months in doing that. Within 3 weeks, we will redesign it and implement it. Because when you are doing a change creates anxiety among people. So you have to control that anxiety of human beings. If you change things and refreeze it, people will start believing into it. So we changed the entire organization. I remember one of my HR managers said, sir, I'm working for organization for so many years, but I have never seen such a massive change in the organization in 3 weeks. And no ripple effect was created in the market. There was no memo circulating in the market that BankIslami has done this. So we did that in 2018, and we fixed the people part, and then we empowered the people, we trained them. We rolled out a training culture that every manager should be a trainer. So manager is not a boss. He's first somebody who make his colleagues and staff members and team members learn that how to do a job properly. And that idea we picked from McDonald's. So we said, let's train employees every day in the branches, and the manager should be the one who should be training our employees. So we worked on the people part. We gave them a mission. We gave them respect. We trained them. And we kept them as close as possible to the CEOs because the organization is now flatter. So we eliminated the retail and the corporate branches and the full service branches and the consumer branches concept. We said every branch will be multi-role. They can do anything and everything under the sun. And if they need support, we are here to support them. Trade structure was centralized to ensure control, but still the hub and spoke model was rolled out that in every single major city where there is a trade potential, there should be a trade manager sitting there. We built a system in-house. He can scan or she can scan the document, send it to the centralized location. And that idea I picked up from Deutsche Bank because in Deutsche, all the Asian trade is processed out of Hong Kong. I said if a Pakistani Deutsche client can have his trade handle in Hong Kong, that why not a BankIslami Faisalabad client can have his trade handle to Karachi? Using technology. So we leverage technology on that. And as a result of that, all the support departments are also truly aligned with the same structure so that they have a similar regional concept, area concept, teams are aligned into it because eventually they are there to support the field. So field will perform as goes as the support is. So we redesigned the organization. All of that was done in a couple of months. And then we decided to move ahead in life and started to implement our vision statement of saving humanity from riba. So this was the structure. So this is coming out of the book. It is nothing new, but very few organizations have implemented it. Because when you talk about segmentation, it is either by product or by geography, right? So sometimes we confuse that. So we said, okay, fine, we will design a distribution or a retail network by geography, and we will align them with our product segmentation. So product segmentation should be with reference to the customer need. And the geographical segmentation should be with reference to that geographical area. So we segmented the organization in only 2 type of verticals, one horizontal and one vertical, and then we used a metrics approach, and we ensured that the metrics should fit in with each other. So this is coming out of the book. So now we have The idea is one-stop shop to sell all customers, segment by selling all products across all geographies. So the next driver for success was actually finding a unique selling proposition. So because I have not made a separate slide for technology, I think that video is good enough how technology is integrated. But the next slide is also linked to technology, because in today's age and world, you can't deliver anything without technology. So we have to find a unique selling proposition, because at that point in time, when I joined BankIslami, when I used to go to any place and I used to tell them I work for BankIslami, तो वो कहते थे जी BankIslami तो ऐसा तो कोई बैंक हमें नहीं पता, आप शायद दुबई इस्लामिक बैंक में काम करते होंगे. So the only Islamic bank with the word Islamic they used to know was Dubai Islamic Bank. Now Dubai Islamic Bank has the same challenge actually. लोग उनको कहते हैं कि जी आप BankIslami में काम करते होंगे. So as what we did, we have to find a unique selling proposition. We were very clear that Islamic banking at its own is no more a USP, because that was a USP for one bank who was first mover. So we did a lot of brainstorming sessions again and again and again. And I remember one of my colleagues who now works for Sindh Bank was head of IT then. He's checking his mobile, and he was part of all those sessions. So they were working on technology for the last many years, which was about biometric banking. And we used to call it bio banking. Then it was not full scale rolled out. There was some limitations into it. So we decided, after a lot of brainstorming sessions, all my management team members were part of it. And we said, okay, this is something which is very different, which we have, and no other bank has it. Let's enhance it, both in terms of technology, and let's make it a product. So we named it One Touch Banking. It is an internationally registered trademark for BankIslami, so it's our IP. Nobody in the world can copy it. So One Touch Banking is a BankIslami intellectual property. The idea behind that product is that a customer of BankIslami can do any transaction inside the bank on the branch counter or outside the bank on the branch ATM with the help of only two things. He or she need to know, only know, not need to carry the CNIC number and the thumb impression. That's it, two things. You go to a BankIslami branch, don't tell anything to them. You say, I need to transfer 10 million rupees into a branch in Muzaffarabad in Habib Bank Limited. And the customer, the counter teller will only ask you your CNIC number and ask you to authorize your transaction with thumb impression. And here the 10 million rupees goes from BankIslami Karachi branch into Habib Bank Limited Muzaffarabad branch. So the idea of transferring funds to any bank in Pakistan from the counter came out during my visit to Rahim Yar Khan. And one of the branch managers there said to me, sir, is it possible that every bank in Pakistan can be a branch of BankIslami? A customer of BankIslami or a customer of BankIslami can go to any bank in Pakistan and get funds. And we started working on that, and we delivered that in a couple of months, because again we were using technology and people to deliver our product. So it was a massive crowd puller. The number of account holders grew from 750,000 to 1.3 million customers. Active customers, definitely, they are dormant as well. And the idea, most of the customer, when I used to visit branches even today, and I ask them, why you bank for BankIslami, with BankIslami? They say, because of this, one touch banking. And specifically people who cannot write a check. It's very interesting. You don't need to carry your debit card to an ATM machine, and still you can take money out from the ATM machine. So one touch banking was the USP. Now it's very important. When I did my marketing, so we said eye level is buy level. जो दिखता है वो बिकता है. आपके पास कितनी भी अच्छी technology हो, if people are not aware of it, it will never become a brand. So if you have to make a brand, there are two ingredients or components to making a brand. One is awareness, other one is image. It should have an executive high profile image, but before that you should create an awareness of your product or your brand among masses. So we decided to roll out a huge marketing campaign. So now you can imagine, marketing campaign was being rolled out by a bank who made only 20 crore rupees in profit and who was not profitable for even years before that. So we said, no, it's not expense, it's an investment. Unfortunately, in accounting, it goes into P&L, but actually it's investment into your brand. So we picked Moin Khan as our brand ambassador, and we did a mega rollout. The head of marketing who was leading that initiative, Fahad, is sitting here. I think Fahad joined the bank in 2006. He was there with BankIslami since 2006. He's the same guy who still run our marketing activities, and you can visibly see BankIslami there. So there was a very short ad, and with that ad, I finished my presentation. And it's actually not a presentation, it's only a journey of success.